The SFC adds 2 more cryptocurrency platforms to its alert list. Chinese battery maker CATL to set up its international headquarters and R&D center in Hong Kong. Hello and welcome to TVB News. The Securities and Futures Commission have added to its alert list 2 more cryptocurrency platforms, Hong Kong Digital Research Institute and Bitcupid. The 2 platforms are suspected of fraud and are accused of disseminating false information. The police have asked telecom companies to shut down the 2 platforms' websites, but they remain active as of 6 p.m. Timothy Lee tells us more.
More cryptocurrency platforms have been under investigation by the Securities and Futures Commission, or SFC, after recent cases involving JPEX and Hunex. One of them, known as the Hong Kong Digital Research Institute, claimed on its website it applied for relevant permits in July last year, adding it had already received 2 other permits from the SFC in March 2021. But the statements were proven to be false. The platform also issued a cryptocurrency called HKDAO. Investors who pressed the purchase option for the digital currency on the website were directed to another trading platform to complete the procedure. The SFC has already asked the platform to cease its purchase services. The other cryptocurrency platform, known as Bitcupid, claimed on its website that its chief executive officer and chairman are HKX CEO Nicholas Agusin and chairman Laura Chow, respectively. Both individuals have no ties with the platform. SFC interim head of intermediaries Keith Choi noted fraudsters like to impersonate well-known figures or claim to be investment experts to trick people into falling for their schemes. He added a popular scheme is urging victims to invest in cryptocurrency platforms. This, as the SFC stressed the 2 platforms are unrelated to the earlier cases involving JPEX and Hunex, and notified the police about the latest development. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
Chinese battery maker CATL has chosen Hong Kong to set up its international headquarters and R&D center. CATL is a leading battery manufacturer with the biggest market share in the world. The city's innovation and tech chief said Hong Kong's recent policies have helped attract more tech companies to invest in the SAR.
The world's biggest maker of batteries for electric vehicles, Contemporary Amperex Technology, or CATL, will set up its international headquarters at the Hong Kong Science Park. CATL produces lithium iron phosphate batteries that help slash production costs for EVs. The decision is said to be another winning move to help Hong Kong in its green inotech development, which includes the new energy industry, transport, and other infrastructure. It's understood Financial Secretary Paul Chan secured the deal during meetings with CATL representatives early this year. CATL's Research and Development Center in Hong Kong is expected to recruit 500 Hong Kong staff within 5 years. Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry Sun Dong said the raft of measures from the policy address have helped move forward investment to the city.
When you are ready to translate your R&D outcomes into applications with real-world impact, you will be supported by various government schemes.
They include the government's recently announced new industrialization acceleration scheme, which is set to inject another $1.28 billion in various fields of AI and inotech industries and companies. CATL accounts for more than 30% of the world's EV battery market, supplying major car makers including Tesla, BMW, and Nissan Motor. As part of the government's support for the use of electric vehicles, Lawrence Cheung, Chief Innovation Officer of the Hong Kong Productivity Council, said more EV tech companies have set up offices in the SAR in recent months. They include Chinese smart driving company Horizon and EV maker Neta Auto. Cheung said that could help develop the whole EV inotech ecosystem in Hong Kong. Lawmaker Wong Kam-fai, who's also a professor at the Faculty of Engineering at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, said these tech companies in Hong Kong could offer more job opportunities for local graduates. In September, Ford halted work at the $3.5 billion battery factory that uses CATL's technology. But mainland media reported that CATL's partnership with Ford is still ongoing. Jackie Lin, TVB News.
According to NBC News, evidence has suggested that dozens of Israeli women were raped, sexually abused, or mutilated during the Hamas attacks on October 7th, a warning that some of the pictures may be disturbing.
On October 7th, Hamas attacked within Israel's borders with a wave of terror, murdering over 1,200 people, including entire families. And Israeli investigators say there is growing evidence that Hamas unleashed another kind of horror against women.
Something so horrific happened, and the world should know.
We spoke to Mirit Ben-Meir, who's helping lead the investigation of allegations of repeated rape and sexual assault by Hamas.
Where does your investigation stand?
We have eyewitnesses that are slowly arriving and giving testimonies.
Disturbing accounts about October 7th, including this woman describing how a Hamas terrorist, quote, laid a woman down. He is raping her, then they pass her on to another person, telling investigators the woman was alive and bleeding. Another chilling eyewitness account from Yoni Sadon, telling the Sunday Times he was at the music festival where Hamas slaughtered hundreds of Israeli concert goers. He hid under dead bodies, saying he saw a, quote, beautiful woman with the face of an angel and 8 or 10 of the fighters beating and raping her. When they finished, they were laughing, and the last one shot her in the head, he said. Hamas has denied committing sexual crimes against women. Israeli officials say the investigation is challenging because most victims were killed. But among the evidence seen by NBC News, graphic photos of women's bodies with obvious signs of sexual assault, including some naked from the waist down. The UN facing backlash for its response, some deemed too slow, including this protest Monday. Critics blasting the Secretary General for taking 7 weeks to publicly call for an investigation of Hamas and sexual violence. And the agency UN Women for not putting out a statement until last Friday. Tonight, the agency telling us in part, within days of the horrific attacks, UN Women began offering concrete support to the UN Commission of Inquiry, which is investigating these matters.
In a rare punitive move against Israel, the U.S. State Department said it would impose travel bans on illegal Jewish settlers implicated in attacks on Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. On Wednesday, 2 Palestinian teens were killed by gunmen in Jenin in the occupied West Bank. The Palestinian Authority said more than 460 Palestinians have been killed by settlers or the Israeli military this year. More than 200 of those deaths have occurred since the start of Israel's military campaign in Gaza on October 7th. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller said the bans would cover dozens of settlers and their families, with more to come. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken earlier announced the step after warning Israel last week that President Joe Biden's administration would be taking action over the attacks. Still ahead, a new treaty with Rwanda to resurrect an asylum plan. The High Court orders Happy Valley Football Club to be liquidated. And free tickets to a gala event promoting Sunday's District Council election. Welcome back. The UK government has signed a new treaty with Rwanda, which it hopes will allow authorities to send migrants to the East Central African country. Earlier, Britain's top court ruled the policy unlawful, but with new safeguards in place, the ruling party believes it can now push the controversial plan through Parliament and send asylum seekers to Rwanda. David Garrett reports.
Signing off on a troublesome deal, the UK government believes refuge in Rwanda is a solution to the migrant crisis. They want to send some seeking a life in the UK here. A handshake between politicians from each nation rubber-stamped the new treaty designed to pacify critics and legal challengers.
The treaty that we signed today builds on that joint work. It takes the positive professional attitude that you and your government display and allies it with the work that the UK is doing to ensure that we break the business model of those evil people smuggling gangs. We want to make sure that people can live in safety and prosperity.
The Conservative government has promised to drastically cut those coming in small boats. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak says sending them to Rwanda will help. He thinks it will deter some from even trying to cross the English Channel. The deal has been dogged by criticism. The opposition says it is inhumane and vowed to scrap it. Some say the simple logistics of sending migrants 4,000 miles makes it unsustainable. King Charles questioned the legislation before becoming monarch. Legal challenges from human rights groups were filed and the UK Supreme Court ruled the Rwanda plan unlawful last month. Judges deemed it breached international law. They decided Rwanda could not guarantee the safety of asylum seekers.
I want to reaffirm that the people relocated to Rwanda will be welcomed and that they will be provided both the safety and support they need to build new lives. Rwanda looks forward to further strengthening the cooperation with the United Kingdom and to implementing this treaty.
The countries have agreed to create a panel to hear appeals. A UK committee will have stronger powers to guide Rwanda's immigration policy. Britain has already paid the African country $177 million to start the process.
The economic development part is incredibly important. We recognise that people will understandably move away from conflict and from famine. And therefore it is in all our interests to address these long-term drivers of mass migration.
This is at the centre of the British government's strategy to cut migration. It is being watched closely by other countries considering similar policies. So far, no one has been sent to Rwanda. David Garrett, TVB News.
Back locally, to promote the upcoming district council election, the government will organize a gala event at the West Kowloon Cultural District at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Around 4,000 entrance tickets for the Build a Better Community event were distributed for free at 20 Home Affairs Inquiry Centers beginning at 1 p.m. today. Some of these centers said all their tickets were distributed within 20 minutes. Saturday's gala event will consist of a large-scale outdoor concert with the participation of around 100 celebrities and singers. The live performances will be broadcast at Harbour Chill, Wan Chai Harbourfront, as well as the amphitheater at Sha Tin Park. Some venues will also provide game booths for participants. The High Court has ordered Happy Valley Football Club to be liquidated after it failed to pay its players. Club chairman Poi Kwan Kay said he was disappointed with the liquidation, but said he is confident the team would regroup and return in the future. The club was founded in the 1950s and became one of the city's top clubs over the years, nurturing leading players such as Chung Cho-wai and Lau Wing-yip. Their fortunes declined after the late 2000s, and the team were embroiled in a number of scandals, including the arrests of a coach and several footballers on suspicion of match fixing in May. The city's commerce chief led a delegation of ASEAN business leaders to the Greater Bay Area over the past 2 days. The effort aims at promoting Hong Kong as a services hub in assisting enterprises to tap the mainland market, encompassing industries such as finance and environmental protection. Our Jackie Lynn spoke with some delegation members for their Southeast Asian perspectives towards the Bay Area's business opportunities.
Blade battery nail test experiments by electric car company BYD. The first-hand experience of the self-driving railway technology from this intelligent rail transit system, Sky Shuttle.
First of all,
this business delegation's two-day trip to the Greater Bay Area was led by Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development Algernon Yao, accompanied by Commissioner for Belt and Road Nicholas Ho.
1, 2, 3.
With themes surrounding green development, innovation and technology, the trip brought together 20 business representatives from mainly ASEAN countries to destinations around Shenzhen, Guangzhou and Nansha. They included visits to the Tencent headquarters, Huawei Shenzhen headquarters, as well as an autonomous driving startup in Nansha. 4 enterprises signed a Belt and Road Memorandum of Understanding on further cooperation in promoting green development. Among the signees is RHL Ventures, one of the largest Malaysia-based venture funds.
I haven't been back to China for 5 years now. Our surprise was how advanced China is in terms of surveillance, for example, facial recognition, payment gateways.
She said Hong Kong still has a major role to play for foreign venture capitalists interested in the Chinese market.
The easy movement of capital is also a big thing for us. If I bring my money in, can I bring my money out freely? I would admit that I'm also more comfortable here because I can use Google, I can use WhatsApp. I think Hong Kong allows the integration or the good mix between rest of the world and China.
Echoing the thought is another delegation member from Bangkok Bank, which is also the settlement bank for the recently launched PromptPay FPS cross-border payment services between Hong Kong and Thailand.
If you set up the company or special vehicle in Hong Kong, you have some shield or some protection in order, if anything went wrong in China, you still have the Hong Kong and English law in order to prevent you.
Even though the delegation members are from private enterprises, some of them noted that the tech transfer from China to Southeast Asia should not just be about money making, but also about using tech as enablers and drivers to boost the local economy. Jackie Lin, TVB News.
That's the news. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.